Hey guys, Get Oats here with another DIY video to share with you guys. Today we're going to talk about how to resolve a common issue that most homeowners face when trying to turn on their central heat and nothing happens. Like me, you probably already searched Google to try and troubleshoot and fix your furnace so you can finally get some heat to your house and stay warm for the cold winter. And maybe your problem was resolved by one of the more common fixes, like replacing a bad pressure switch, or just replacing a dirty filter in your home that hasn't been replaced in like many years, and it's just gotten a bunch of dust clogged in there, which kind of overheats your furnace and causes it to just shut off. Or maybe your problem was resolved by a less common problem, like a bad control board that needs to be replaced, and after replacing it, everything is working. For me, the issue that I faced with my furnace seemed to be a possibility of all of the above. I had indicators telling me that could have been a possible bad pressure switch. I also had indicators pointing to me, telling me that it could be a faulty control board. So I'm hoping to share my video and experience with you in hopes that it can save you hundreds of dollars in service repairs. So let's get started. When I first turned the thermostat on to heat mode, you can hear the thermostat click signaling a call to heat to the furnace. However, after that, nothing seemed to happen. No sounds of flames igniting up in the furnace, no blowing of the fans, nothing. So I decided to go up to the attic where my York Diamond 80 furnace was located and open it up to see what was going on. At first glance, I noticed a control board with a blinking red light flashing 3 times. Taking a look at the back of the panel that I just removed that housed the control board reveals an LED diagnostic indicator chart explaining what the flashing LED codes mean. And for me, the 3 flashing lights means that a pressure switch is stuck in an open position. And here's where my pressure switch is located. Since I'm not an HVAC expert, I decided to call an HVAC professional to come and take a look and fix. The service tech did their diagnosis and found the pressure switch to be working fine, and there were no signs of clogging anywhere. He also did a diagnosis on the control board and found it to be faulty and needed to be replaced. He also mentioned that the cost to replace the board with parts and labor was going to cost around $750 with a discount. I was shocked. However, in the whole process of performing his diagnosis on the control board, the furnace somehow started to work properly and blow hot air to the house. So the cheapskate in me decided to pass getting the control board replaced until the problem surfaced again. The next day, the furnace did the same thing. When turning on the heat, there were no sounds of the furnace flames lighting up, and there's no blowing of hot air to the house, just a click of the thermostat sending out a call to heat to the furnace. So I decided to go back upstairs again and check the furnace, and I noticed the control board was flashing the same 3 LED lights. The electrical engineer in me decided to unplug the furnace and remove the control board to take a closer look and see what the problem was. I labeled and took pictures of all the connections prior to disconnecting all the cables. Then I instantly noticed that the power connector on the board was a bit loose. So I flipped the control board over, and to my surprise, the solder points to where the power connector was connected to the board was slightly charred. In addition, the power connector was not properly soldered, which left it susceptible to intermittent loss of connectivity at the contact point to the board, thus causing the connections to spark and leaving behind a slight char to the board. After cleaning up the area where the power connector connects to the board, I take my trusty compact multimeter and set it to the setting to measure continuity. Setting it to this setting allows you to test continuity between 2 connected points. As I probe one end of the power connector to the back side of the power connector where the solder point is, I notice that sometimes I get good continuity and sometimes I do not get it when I wiggle it. Then I check the continuity of the other 3 power points to the right, and I notice that the last 2 also have spotty continuity as well. I then take my soldering iron and solder and perform new solder points to the back of the board on all 3 points that had spotty continuity. Then I check the continuity again, and all four now have solid continuity. I also carefully wiggle the power connector to ensure that it is not loose and that my soldering skills are still good after all those years in electrical engineering school. Then I carefully mount the control board back onto the furnace, connect up all the cables, plug the furnace back in, and to my surprise, everything started to work again. First you can hear the gas blowing, then the flames igniting, and then finally the blower blowing the hot air into the house. No more flashing LEDs. It has been over 3 weeks since this fix, and the furnace is still blowing hot air to the home, and there are no issues. I hope this video has helped you with fixing your furnace issue. If you met the same requirements as me with diagnostic indicators indicating that your pressure switch is failed open and a seemingly faulty control board, and you have tried everything within your search from Google and you still cannot get your issue resolved, then maybe you might just have the same power continuity problem as me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to keep up to date with more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.